new finesse hard baits from Imakatsu and Jackall Japan, some ICast releases, as well as some JD. I should start drinking earlier. Let me start over, Jeff. New finesse hard baits from Imakatsu and Jackall Japan. Some ICast releases land, as well as some JDM only colors from Evergreen, and some super important drops from OSP that you guys have been waiting for. This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle.
Oh god, it's gonna be one of those.
I need a trophy. Welcome to the Hookup Tackle. The Hookup Tackle is the world's largest showcase of Megabass products, featuring baits and colors not found at any other dealer. The Hookup also offers a wide display of OSP, Evergreen, Depths, Lucky Craft, Jackall, and many more. The Hookup Tackle is owned and operated by family, is staffed by guides and verified tackle nerds who love helping anglers elevate their craft. If you're in the Phoenix area, we'd love to have you stop by our showroom and check out the wonderful world of Megabass and the Hookup for yourself. If you shop online, there are almost 10,000 SKUs of Megabass products alone, with hundreds of other companies and new products being added daily. So next time you're looking for that hard to find bait, that color your fish have never seen before, or maybe you just want to elevate your game, look at thehookuptackle.com. Welcome back, my friends. I am Ben with the Hookup Tackle, the Tackle Taco on Instagram, being joined by my buddies Jeffrey the King. What's up?
Hey,
Good
pal.
morning. Top of the morning to you, sir.
Oh god.
And G Sticks Bespoke, my man Griff. What's up, Griff? This is what's new this week at the Hookup Tackle. We highlight new product drops as well as important restocks so you guys can stay on top of the game. Fresh back from ICast 2022. Jeff, before we dive in,
Okay.
I am going to offer you, apparently in Florida, the world's most expensive beer.
How much was that in Florida? Can you tell the folks?
It was $12.50 per bottle / can, depending on what they had that day. Can you believe that? 12 bucks? Dude,
that means you have at least half a mil here.
Well, that's what I was thinking. This will officially be our last What's New episode. I'm just getting out of tackle and I'm taking my year supply of Orion and I'm going to Orlando and just pedaling it. I have one of those little like push popsicle carts. So it's just gonna have Orion. I'm gonna do it for $10 a can. I'm gonna undercut everybody.
Dude,
yeah.
Killer.
So, I know you're not a big fan of drinking, but now that you know that it's the world's most expensive beer, I brought one for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you can't just give it to Griff. Cheers, my friends. Happy Sunday. Do you think anybody knows what we're talking about?
No, they think we're just crazy.
So Friday, I posted on my Instagram that literally the hardest decision I had to make at ICast was deciding between a $6 Kirin, right, draft, a big one, or a $12.50 can of Orion. Man, it was a hard decision week, wasn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, some decisions were definitely made.
Yeah. So, just so you guys know, I got both. That way, it kind of
He did get both.
It equalized the price. That way, it was like only $9 for Orion, so it was a little bit more justifiable, right? Cheers, guys! Happy Sunday.
He did get both.
I did. So, if you guys don't follow us normally, we just came back from ICast 2022. Jeff, it was your second year going. Griff, it was your first year going. Did you guys have a great time?
It was fun.
Good.
You know what was the highlight? It was the fishing. The fishing was better than going to ICast.
That's horrible.
Oh.
It sucked.
That's
Well,
horrible.
Well, there you go. That's how ICast was.
July in Florida at random ponds that are overfished.
Fire.
Not my favorite. So if you guys haven't seen it yet and you would like to see it, we did post our YouTube episode of us at ICast 2022. Just a word of, I don't know if caution's the right word, but if you're new to our channel, this is not a go to every booth and let the pros circle jerk us off about how amazing everything is. This is our take. We're just inviting you with us through the show. We're going to show you some hype stuff. We're going to show you some cool new things coming down the pipe. We're going to talk some shit about some of the knockoffs and some of the things that aren't very cool. Basically, it's just you getting to come along with us, right? So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, every time Jeff and I were just talking about this, like, it can be a little exhausting sometimes in this industry, seeing some of knockoffs, stealing, not so great innovations, diluting of certain categories, right? It can get a little bit soul-sucking, I guess, at times, right? But in a lot of times when we speak like this, we get a lot of negative flack, and that can be a little soul-sucking too, right? At the end of the day, everything that we do and we say and our experiences, it's our goal to just be transparent in what we believe. And we all fucking love fishing here, right? We are all fishermen first, and so we want the coolest shit, right? And it's kind of all of our responsibilities to make sure that, you know, we're speaking our mind, that our industry is going in the most positive direction it can go for long-term sustainability. Because Jeff, when you retire, when you're 65, 70 years old, right, all you're gonna want to do is fish, right? Well, no?
I'm over it by then.
Oh, you're getting it all out of the way now?
No, I'll be dead by 40. Remember?
Definitely not from drinking.
No.
What are you dying from exactly?
Just, I fulfilled everything in life.
And then what? You're just gonna feed yourself to a shark?
Yeah.
Off the
That's
cliff?
a hell of a content.
This is a deep
That's a
episode
good
already.
video.
Yeah. Can we end the YouTube channel?
Dude, that would be a way to go out.
Ben and Jeff go swimming into the middle of the ocean. Who comes back? A 1v1 challenge.
There it is.
Yeah. You up for that challenge, Griff? All right.
No.
Let's dive into some product, okay? Big week from OSP, not necessarily through a huge line of products, but some really critical things that I know a lot of you guys have been waiting on. We leaked some of this last night, so definitely, if you didn't see our leak on Instagram, make sure you scoop some of these up quick, because we got a ton, but they are gonna fly. So, as is the case with a lot of lure makers right now, production is very, very challenging. A lot of these factories are just so crammed at 100% capacity that things that used to be able to be made 2 or 3 times a year are now 1 time a year. Or maybe they thought they could put their order in January and get it in March, and then they put it in January, and the manufacturer or the factory's like, dude, we can't even get it till a year from now, or whatever the case may be, right? So one of the items that has been basically gone for about a year is this guy. This is the OSP Blitz EX DR, right? So if you guys have been waiting on this crankbait, this is one of everybody's favorite crankbaits. Okay, this is kind of that, you know, secret, well, I guess it used to be secret under the radar, no longer secret under the radar. It's just a super dope crankbait. So like all OSP crankbaits, here, you can probably see this one. The Blitz EX DR is built with a honeycomb construction. That honeycomb construction makes the bait lighter. It gives the bait a different wobble, a different vibration, so it turns the Blitz into kind of a hybrid of tight wobble and wide wobble. It's kind of right in between, which makes it a great one for kind of all-around use, right? It's weighted. All the Blitz crankbaits come weighted at the bottom. So that just gives it balance. It gives it castability. It's just an amazing crankbait. So I know most of you are familiar with this, and you're probably seeing this and going, holy shit, I'm gonna go grab some. If you're not throwing this crankbait right now, if you guys are fishing anywhere from basically that 12 to 15 foot zone, this is one that you need to have in your arsenal. It gets bit smallmouth and largemouth. So most of the key colors come back. I will tell you, I think we got maybe 40 or 50 colors in stock at the start of this video. A lot of the harder to get JDM colors are gonna fly out of here very fast because the quantities were so small that what they could make, right? So here we go. I'll fly through just a handful of colors. Things like Jade Shad returns, Vanilla Chartreuse, Tasty Shad is back, Real Bitterling, which I think is one of my favorite colors, that's back. Of course, #1 seller in that, Ghost Minnow, that returns as well. then we've got things like Real Wakasagi, Sunny Gill, Jinrin, Crystal Blue Shiner, on and on and on and on, right? So if you guys have been waiting on Blitz EX DRs, scoop these up. We will see a very small restock and maybe 6 or 7 of these colors in a couple weeks, and then that's it, probably until this time next year. Okay, so even if you're kind of past your crankbait season for this year, which you shouldn't be, we're kind of right in the middle of it, you're gonna wanna grab these because you're not gonna see them again now for probably close to another year, sadly. Okay, so there you go, OSP Blitz EX DRs, while supplies last, those are available now. All right guys, another bait that I know a lot of you guys have been dying for is back. This is the Blitz Magnum SR. There's also a new color in this that I will get to as well. So the Bliss already? I'm like 7 sips in. This is gonna be a long episode, Jeff. I apologize. You sure you don't want to drink? It's gonna be more fun drinking with me today.
No.
Okay. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Why is there no specs on this thing?
It's a big ass crankbait.
It's a big ass crankbait. Oh, it's right in front of my face. Just to spec this guy out for you.
What is it?
A Bliss Magnum SR.
Okay.
You can call it Blitz if you want, but
Bliss is the way.
people that are cool, Bliss.
Oh, okay, that's
right.
a new
Yeah,
one.
because it puts you into a mental zone of just, you know,
Got it.
freedom.
We'll change it.
3.5 inches. It is 1 2/5 ounce. This is the largest shallow diving crankbait that they make. So a lot of the key colors return in this guy that you guys may have been waiting on. Right, so some shads, some chartreuses, some reds. We also see the introduction of a brand new color, plus it's decked out a little bit more. This is the MU Flicker Shad. So, if you guys have not been throwing this, let me fill you guys in really quick. You can utilize this bait solely as a crankbait, okay? You can throw it and just wind it, and it's a big, hard vibrating, shallow diving crankbait that works great. But in Japan, what they have been doing is they've been adding a feathered treble to the back of it, and they've been using it more as a glide bait than a crankbait. So with the right action, either with your rod tip or your reel handle, you can get this thing to literally walk and turn on itself and then crank and then go back to walking. It's a super kind of multifunctional shallow diving crankbait in a size that's big, but not too big, if that makes sense, right? So this is the new color, MU Flicker Shad. Obviously, it's a super natural bait fish pattern. This particular color is kind of like a tester for OSP. It's coming pre-rigged with Ryugi hooks, both in the front, and it comes with a Ryugi treble hook in the back. So it's already ready to go out of the box. Okay, this is the only color that's going to have those feathered trebles. If you guys go with the traditional colors, they're not gonna have a feathered treble, so you can choose to add one or not add one. If all you're doing is just kind of cranking it down and working like a crankbait, don't need the feather. But if you wanna try to work it more just barely subsurface as a bait that's kind of walking under the surface, the feather just looks sexy. It looks dope, right? So, available while supplies last. It's a fixed weight system, but because it's pretty heavy, it casts really, really well. I know a lot of guys here locally have been smashing them on this. A lot of guys have been waiting for this to come. So if you're in that vote, or you just want to try something cool without going to like a full, 2 or 3 or 4 ounce glide bait, and you want something that has that very similar motion, this could be a good one. That's the Blitz Magnum SR from OSP, available now. All right, we also see a big restock this week in the Blitz Max series of crankbaits. So this is the 62 millimeter 12.5 gram square bill. This is probably the most popular square bill, I would say, in their lineup. The Blitz Max is just that great kind of almost half-ounce square bill that's more of just a traditional bait. Now, like all Blitzes, it's gonna have that honeycomb construction. It's gonna have, the weighting on the bottom so that as it deflects and it moves, that weight is shifting it back to center so it never washes out, it never blows out. Circuit board lip for great cover deflection. It's aligned perfectly with the treble hook, so as it bounces, it's gonna protect whatever treble. And you can literally put this wherever you want, and it's gonna have great great cover deflection. So again, this is one of those baits that has been available in like 2 colors for like a year. So they finally went through the color run. So if you guys have been waiting, this is a great time to scoop them up. So colors all the way from, you know, Dazzler Baby Gill, you know, to Green Gill, to Jinrin, to Ghost Minnow, right? Real Perch, Real Bluegill, all return in the Blitz Max this week from OSP. All right, well, we're talking about OSP restocks, some soft plastic restocks to let you guys know about. The MMZ Deca version returns in a lot of the key colors. So a lot of the colors like Essa Natural, Food Natural, Mimizu, Green Pumpkin return in this guy. Now, I know most of you by now probably have to know about the MMZ. Jeff, this is one of the few baits that I've ever actually seen you throw as far as like just a plastic goes that wasn't a swim bait.
It's a cool ass worm.
It's a cool ass worm. So you can see it's just the largest version of the MMZ. The MMZs are built with these kind of built-in kind of bends, right? The idea is that you can fish this in multiple ways. You can wacky rig it, you can put it on a small little EWG or nose hook it, and as you move it, it's going to stretch and then it's going to come back. So it's going to move just like a real worm is going to move through the water. Griff, I know you're a huge fan of MMZs.
Yes.
You and Jeff made a great video on the Deca. Give me some thoughts on this, and what's your favorite way to rig this guy?
It's a cool worm. It definitely gets the fish's attention, and I just like to rig it on like a size 3 EWG.
Okay.
And just toss it around, let it sink, and then just small twitches, and then let it sink and small twitches.
So kind of unweighted, shallow water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of you guys are going to have the most success. So if you have been looking to resupply, which you've already had, or maybe you've missed out on some of the drops, again, the best colors that they make in it are back. So available once again. We also see a big restock and a return of a lot of the key colors in the OSP Dolive Gill. So this is a great kind of gliding profile bluegill bait. So a lot of the key colors like green pumpkin, stupid colors like Griff likes to throw, dark cinnamon, blue flake, those types of things return. We also see a return in a lot of the new colors in the saltwater line that are super sexy as well. So Dolive Gills are back. We also see a return of the white glow color in the Dolive Shad. This is one that flies out of here every time we get it in stock. This is the color that essentially is albino pearl shad, right? So albino pearl shad, without question, the #1 selling color in the Megabass Magdraft. It's essentially the same color, but now you get the option to throw it in a 4-inch or a 5-inch, just normal paddle tail swim bait. So you can throw it on an A-rig, you can throw it on as a jig trailer, you can throw it on a flashy swimmer, right? Any of those things. You essentially have that same color option now in one of the best paddle tail baits on the market. So white glow from OSP and the Dolive Shad back in stock. We also see a huge restock this week in OSP Dolive Beavers. So if there's been any colors you guys have been missing, sprayed grass, ghost shrimp, your green pumpkin type colors, even your reds, the new camo color, right, which is half green, half brown, all those return in the Dolive Beavers. And we see a very small resupply of Jeff's favorite lure. I should say Griff's favorite lure, since you're standing right here, the Hairy Dice.
Hairy Dice. Right?
So you kind of were the leader of the Hairy Dice revolution. Yeah, here, tell people how to throw this thing. So only a couple of colors. These are gonna be available in the non-salt version. We should see a couple more colors come in a couple weeks. You're gonna start to see a small little trickle, but if you guys have been waiting, here, let Griff tell you how to do it. I'm gonna stand here and listen. Just make you look short.
Just so you can learn something.
Oh boy.
Trying to get some learning on.
Relax.
All right, so my favorite way to fish it is just on a drop shot hook. I'm gonna put it through on the skinnier end, and then I'm gonna put it all the way through and just let it sit on that drop shot hook. And I'm just gonna cast it out there, let it sink a little, a couple twitches. It doesn't take much to get these fish excited about eating this. What it is, no idea, but the fish love it. It's pretty durable when you fish it that way. It's just gonna slide up the hook. you don't go through a ton of these at a time, like during a session, but it's pretty dope. I really like it.
While you're there,
While I'm here,
there's some new hooks from Decoy.
uh-oh.
Okay, I don't know if you've seen these, but this is for like hover shotting.
Yes.
Okay, so brand new from Decoy. I wanted you to see them. So basically, Jig 52 and Jig 53. Have you seen these?
I took a quick glance at them.
Okay.
These are pretty dope because now you have the option of a different hook angle on your line tie. So depending on where you want to put your hook, the angle of the line tie is going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want to more front load it, you're going to use this 60-degree line tie, and then if you want to put it a little bit back further, you're going to use this 90-degree right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, super sick.
So kind of cool. I mean, more innovations towards hover shotting is always a good idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, check those out. All right, so one of the coolest booths I think that we visited during ICast, and definitely if you guys haven't seen the video, check it out, read through the comments. You're gonna feel the same, right? You're gonna feel the passion and the energy and the excitement from this guy. This is Hiroshi Nishine. He makes amazing things. He's still doing it old school, right? Carving stuff, tweaking it, years of development.
Yeah.
Right? And I know, I mean, he nicknamed you the Namazu Master.
The Namazu Master.
Right? So a bait of his that's been out of stock for a long time, a lot of you guys have been waiting on, is back. So that's really what's bridging this segment. The Simco is back. Have you had a chance to throw this yet? They've been selling out so fast, I haven't even had a chance to throw it.
On our first shipment of them, I got a couple and I threw them and smashed them with it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the Simco is a 75mm lipless crankbait. It has 2 line ties, so you can fish it in a straight or you can fish it at an angle like this. So listening to Hiroshi explain it made it seem so much easier, right?
Right.
Right? So like, you know, you fish it at the angle like this and you're just cutting through that grass. When he was saying that it had this sharp edge on the top that's going to cut through the grass like that, and then you can kind of fish it like in a vertical presentation on the other line tie. Drop it down, lift up, lift and drop, lift and drop. This one is a silent version, but it's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's available in 2 sizes, a regular and a heavyweight.
Yeah.
So you could get shallower or deeper presentations out of it. Yeah.
So you got your heavyweight and your regular.
So most of the key colors are back in that guy.
All right, we're getting a restock in good colors of the Erie 115. This is the suspended version. This is not the new version that's coming, but this is also a sick jerkbait. Comes with this weight. You can keep it on or you can take it off. It's meant to get you a little bit further down in the column. If you want to drop it down a little bit more, you can add more to it. We also sell the actual weight for it. So that's the Erie 115. We have the Abino 110 float. So this one's a pretty cool, super customizable bait. Like it floats, so I like to use it as a top water, but it comes with a weight also, so you can sink it down a little bit more. It comes with 2 separate blades for 2 separate actions on there. All right, so this one back in most colors. And then we have the baby Abino, which is a 70 millimeter, and this one sinks. I like to cast this one out, let it sink to depth, and then just slow reel it in like a spy bait. But this one also is super customizable. You can take the blades, you can flip them around for a different sound, different action. You can take the blade on the bottom off, you can leave it on. Everything about it is going to give you a choice to customize it the way that your fish are reacting to it. All right. And then the Namazu. All right. Everybody knows this is one of my favorite baits. We get it in green pumpkin, black with blue flake, in 4 and 5 inch. All right. So this one's a fun one. I like to free rig it. Another good way that I like to use it as in a soft plastic jerkbait. And I like to do the double rig on this one.
Crazy.
So I rig 2 of them up and rip it through, and this gets bit.
So a school of catfish swimming in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
School of catfish. Right now for us, the catfish are finished spawning, so we're gonna see a ton of catfish in this size, and believe it or not, bass love to eat catfish, and they'll tell you by tearing these things up. These things are super dope.
Thank you, Griff.
Yep.
All right, Jeff, let's jump to Megabass really quick. Some important restocks just to fly through with you guys to let you know they are back. Let's start in jerkbaits, Edo Vision 110. Some key colors come back that have been missing. Quite a few, almost all the core colors are back, including a handful of more select colors, right? So colors like GG Trout OB, which is one of my favorites for this time of the year. SB OB Shad as well is back. SB OB Shad comes back in a regular and the silent version. We talk about this guy a lot, just in case you're new to the channel. This is one of our favorites. It's a totally transparent bait with just a little bit of that kind of like greenish gold back, but underneath the bait is kind of a hidden orange flash. So, you know, as the bait is still, it's super natural and almost transparent, but then as it moves, it just gives these little flashes that are causing the fish to kind of look up and draw attention to it. It's a super popular color in everything that they make it in, and it usually flies out. So if you've been waiting for any of those to return, check those out. Those are all back. We also see a huge restock in the +1 Junior in all the key colors. So Spawn Cherry, Northern Secret, French Pearl, etc. all come back in that guy. And then we also see the entire color range return in the X Nanahan series. So the regular X Nanahan, the X Nanahan +1, the X Nanahan +2. Key colors like Edo Canary and JP Sculpin all return in this guy. This is an awesome one if you need a bait to have the same action as this, but to be much smaller. So if fishing is starting to get tough and the water temp's getting high and they're getting super picky and they're eating really small little bait, this can be a great way to extend your jerkbait season by just downsizing and giving yourself the same action as the original 110, but as you can see, in a much, much smaller package. So if you've been waiting on any of those all return from Megabass. We also see a huge restock in Vibration X Ultras this week from Megabass. This has been one of those baits that's been a challenge to keep in stock in all colors. Everything returns, so colors from Bahama Bone to Stealth Wakasagi, Echelade, everything returns in that guy. So if you guys have been waiting on Lipless, great time to scoop it up. We also see some colors trickle through the lineup. So colors like Perches and Gills, and one of our favorite colors this time of the year is Pumpkinseed. It's just a really natural bluegill pattern. Probably one of the coolest kind of panfish type colors in the lineup. Returns in all the key baits, right? So everything from 110FX to Giant Dog X, Pop X, Pop Max sees a return in Pumpkinseed this week. All right, another bait we see a big restock in, and this is a public service announcement at the same time, Jeff. So I-Slides come back in almost all colors. So the little I-Slide 135, we see restocks in the gill patterns, the smallmouth, the shads. 185s come back in most of the key colors like Ugui, right? Trout, some of the saltwater colors come back. 262s, pretty much all the colors are back. This is actually going to be the last supply of I-Slides that we see in quite some time. So Megabass factory is completely, well, basically all their factories are at complete capacity, right? So some things have to kind of go off the chopping block to make room for some of the new baits that they're going to be producing, and this is one that temporarily is getting a little bit shunned, right? So if you guys throw the glide baits from Megabass, if you're I-Slide fans, this is the time to pick these up. When they sell out, we're not going to see them for quite some time, so I want to make sure you guys can get your hands on them if you need to. So for now, big supply of I-Slides, but they're going to fly out of here. So definitely a great time to grab them this week. All right, and then maybe one of the most spoken about baits of the week, even though it's not new, but let's just talk about it, right? The Megabass Magdraft. So all the colors are in stock now in the 6-inch sizes. Let me know if any of these look familiar to you. Did you see any of these type of things at ICast this year?
I saw one that looked like an F-22.
Yeah, that's different. So albino pearl shad, whiteback shad, MB gizzard. It's a familiar looking color, isn't it? All return, 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch. If you guys are fans of originals, then this is the time to scoop these up. So both in the freestyle and the rigged versions, Magdrafts are in. All right, while we're talking about ICast, a couple of ICast releases from Evergreen arrived. So we got back Friday. We've been frantically trying to inventory and get stuff ready for you guys for this week. So let's start right here. The Zerk crankbait, or again, I don't know why Evergreen insists that Americans can't say their goofy names, right? So you can say Zerk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can say shower blows,
See,
right? Shower blows sounds way fucking cooler than SB, doesn't it? Right. But here you go. The Zerk, or as they're going to start calling it here in the US, the ZR4, is going to be now part of the core in the Evergreen lineup. Plus, they are rolling out some new colors. So we see Glow Shad Dazzler, Flash Wakasagi, and Cold Shad arriving in the Zerk crankbait. I'll take one of these out for you. We touched base a little bit on this while we were at ICast with Brett. This is just giving you one more option in your square bill line. It's a little bit taller bait. It's super wide, so it's just going to give you, once again, just something different, right? Is it going to revolutionize your square bill game? No. Is it something that, if you throw a lot of square bills, you might want to add to your line? Yes. Right, so available in a bunch of colors. Just to spec it out for you, it is 2 3/4 inches, 5/7 of an ounce. Targeted dive depth on like 16 and 20 pound is 4 foot. Okay, so pretty traditional. So those are available now. No need to pre-order, no need to wait. Those are all in stock. Also, a pretty exciting one that returns, the Wild Hunch returns, or in the US, the WH, because apparently Wild Hunch is very confusing to say, right? Yeah. You were confused, right? Right. So the WH8 returns in the line. Now, if you guys remember back to when Evergreen USA had Wild Hunches, there were 2 different sizes basically in this. So the WH8 returns. This is 2 1/3 inch, 9/15 of an ounce. Let's just call it half an ounce.
Such
can
weird.
I know.
Weird.
It's a half ounce.
Yeah.
So here you go. What's cool about this is this bait was really kind of the crankbait that put Evergreen on the map here in the US. And the reason for that is one of the most popular crankbaits in history, especially in the middle part of the US, like around the Ozarks specifically, right, has forever been a wigglewort, right? And the wigglewort really kind of revolutionized the way a lot of crankbaits were thought of, because it was a hunting crankbait. It was one of the original kind of hunting crankbaits, right? So it wasn't really designed to just go straight all the time. It was designed to be kind of like this real small, compact, but wide movement, but then it would hunt and it would draw these strikes that other crankbaits wouldn't. Wild Hunch is designed the same way, okay? So it's gonna give you a very similar action to a wigglewort, but just a little bit different, right? In a more evergreen type fashion. So what's cool about this is that they brought this back with intention this year. You know, anybody that fishes the Ozarks, that uses wigglewort type stuff, you know, really the colors that everybody wants are like craw patterns, right? But the Wild Hunch for ages and ages and ages was pretty much just done in shad patterns. So this time Evergreen brings it back, and they're almost all craw patterns, which is dope. So you're gonna see a very similar kind of color palette to what a lot of you guys would expect in the wigglewort, but there you go. The brand new ICast release, the return of the WH8 from Evergreen. These are available now. All right, well, we're on new Evergreen drops. We see some new colorways land in our most popular silent topwater bait, and this is the JT-95. Now this is one that I'm actually thankful that they changed the name, right? So this was a bait that Justin Kerr, our friend, helped develop, and in Japan they call it the Justine, right? A little weird, right? So I'm cool with JT on this one, right? So the JT-95 is a full silent bait. It's 95 millimeters. It weighs 3/8 of an ounce. They didn't do anything weird on this one, right? But what's great about this bait is it was designed and developed to walk the same way that a balsa topwater bait would move. Now, we talk about balsa crankbaits all the time and how the biggest challenge is the inconsistency. Balsa topwaters were the same, right? So you'd buy one and it would have this amazing kind of wide, silent movement. You'd buy another one and it wouldn't do the same thing, right? This bait was designed to kind of bridge the gap and give you an ABS plastic version that's going to be totally silent, right? And it's going to have that same movement as a balsa bait. So some really great color additions, very welcome additions, because usually when we're switching over to the JT-95, it's kind of more towards the middle to end of topwater season, kind of the season that we're in now, right? They've seen a lot of the same kind of loud moving bait. Now they need something a little bit more finesse. This will hopefully extend that season and get you guys a few more bites. So just to run through the colors really quick, Magic Gill, Flash Wakasagi. Of course, I'm a sucker for this guy, Ice Fish, because it's white and that's what I do. Full Metal, so now there's a full chrome one, so a lot of you guys that are fishing herring lakes and that kind of stuff have one. And then Ghost Olive Shad. So 5 new colors in the JT-95. Those are available now from Evergreen. We also see a return, this is right in your lane,
This is a cool one.
yeah, of the OB-68. So this is the Evergreen popper. Why is this cool for you?
It's got a very unique sound to it. It's got, I don't know what it is.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, so it's kind of just like when we talk about square bills. A lot of this isn't necessarily revolutionary.
Yeah.
It's just something different, right? So if you guys throw a lot of poppers, this is a good one. I'll spec it out for you. 2 2/3 inch, 3/8 of an ounce. And you guys can see it. It's got a couple of shifting weights in there, right? So you get a little bit of that high-pissed, man, I'm halfway through
Bliss?
here now. This is gonna be a awesome Sunday. High-pitched sound from those BBs on the inside that are moving around, plus it's center and rear weighted. So it's going to sit kind of tail down, so as it moves, it's going to always kind of go back to that lower profile that's going to put a hook lower in the water that in theory should improve your hookup ratio. So we also see some new colors in this guy drop as well. So you have things like green back glitter, of course you have bone. You've got, this one's really cool, Flash Wakasagi's in there, Flash Clear Shad, there's a bass, there's a clown, right? So some options in there. If you guys are popper fans, I think you guys will really dig this. So there you go, the OB-68 from Evergreen, available now. Okay, and then staying in the topwater realm, you know, one of our favorite topwaters across the store, in the store, is the shower blows. Okay, and I know it's a lot of your favorites as well. The shower blows also may be one of the most kind of replicated, knocked off baits this year at ICast. A lot of shower blows imitators, wouldn't you say? So we got with Evergreen and asked them to get us a supply of some of their key JDM only colors in this guy, so you guys can have access to them. I don't expect to see a lot of these colors drop again because they're going to really focus on their cores. So if you guys are shower blows fans or shower blows shorty fans, definitely scoop these up. Now, if you're on our website, the SB is what the US calls shower blows. We're just going to keep calling these shower blows. Okay, so look for it under there. So a lot of key colors return. Flash Wakasagi, right? Flash Fish, there's a Chartreuse Shad in it, there's Smash Shad, right? So a lot of super dope colors, a lot of clear, transparent colors with inserts in there as well. So this should really help you guys round out your color selection in shower blows if you're a big fan. So while supplies last, shower blows and shower blows shorty, both available in Japan colors from Evergreen Japan. And then we also see a return plus some new color additions in one of the coolest finesse little drop shot baits from Evergreen. This is the C-4 Leech. Okay, so we see some brand new colors. We see some Namazus. We see some really natural kind of crawl patterns. We see a nice kind of morning dawn type color, right? Let me take one of these out for you guys and I'll show this. So, you know, going back old school, right? One of the old school ways of split shotting and drop shotting was with a reaper, right? And companies just don't make a lot of reapers anymore. And a reaper is essentially this shape where it's kind of just a small little worm body and then kind of a flat tail. This is going to give the bait a different action. You can rig it either this way, kind of vertical, and you're gonna get kind of this kind of motion, just a real natural quiver out of it. You can rig it this way and you're gonna have more of an up and down movement out of it. If you guys are looking for something just very finessey and very lifelike to get bites when it gets really tough, the C-4 Leech can be a great option for you. So again, I think it's available in total in about 20 different colors, as well as these 4 new ones. So available while supplies last, the C-4 Leech from Evergreen. All right, a new bait lands from Jackall Japan. Jeff, I know you're a huge fan of the don't do shit, do nothing type baits, right? I see you throwing them all the time. You make these great videos throwing glides and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But trust me, guys, when the camera is off,
Yeah.
he has a spinning rod out and some kind of eye motion bait.
Yeah. I don't want to give out that secret just yet. Maybe one day I'll show the footage.
In fact, I'm pretty sure most of the fish you've been posting lately on Instagram where you just, the bait's not in the fish's mouth, right? Like you have this 9-pounder and you're just holding like a hinkle trout or something over here. I mean, there's no evidence to say otherwise. Oh, I'm letting your secret out? Okay. In all seriousness, Jackall is basically the pioneer almost of the baits that really don't do anything, that eye motion style. Okay, and this is a new one here in the market. This is the Nagisa 65 SP. So this is going to be a very natural kind of true suspending type eye motion bait. I'll put one out here so you guys can see it. It's incredibly lifelike. It's going to be a hybrid bait. It's going to be a hard body, very natural minnow shape. It's going to have a soft plastic tail. So what this does is while the main bait really isn't doing anything, it's just kind of pulling in, you can see that on the paws, that tail is still going to move. And if you look at a minnow, if you look at a bait, we talk about this a lot, right? There are times when the bass just wants something just with crazy action to it. But when you're trying to mimic the real thing, a small little bait fish, a small little minnow, isn't doing this, right? It's doing that. So this is going to give you a bait that just lets you mimic the real thing. Each package does come with a spare tail as well. So if you happen to kink it or lose it or whatever, you do have that option. So again, kind of a cool thing. A lot of you guys like BFS and really finessey baits. This is going to be right up your alley. It's available in a bunch of really cool colors. So the Nagisa 65 from Jackall Japan, that is available now. And then Jeff, one of your favorite product categories every time we talk about it is finesse spinner baits, right? So Jackall Japan is bringing the Dera Buzz, which is their finesse buzz bait. We showed that in our ICast video, into core. We thought we would bring the Deraspin into core as well. So Deraspin's return. Now, this is probably one of the most popular finesse spinner baits, and for good reason. These are going to be available in 1/8 ounce, 1/4 ounce, and 3/8 ounce. I think there might even be some 1/2 ounce floating around over there as well. So you're going to have different sizing options in this, all the way from, you know, small little light creek BFS type sizes to, you know, big full size spinner baits that you could throw out on big water. But even though it's a full size, it's going to be a super compact and finesse little bait. So the Deraspins are all going to come with hand-tied skirts and hand-tied feathers. So you're going to get this kind of hybrid type look from the bait. They're going to be very compact. You can see how small this is. Very compact wire. It's going to have a single uniquely cupped blade on there that's going to give mainly vibration, but it's going to allow for a very horizontal fall as it falls. So it's going to have this kind of helicopter effect that's going to keep the bait horizontal, and then as you spin, it's going to have that real hard thumping vibration. So even out of a tiny little bait, the fish are going to really feel it come through. So tons of colors, anywhere from, you know, natural gill type patterns to crazy patterns to blacks, to, you know, clear shads to chartreuses, right? So whatever vibe you're feeling or that works for your water, there's going to be an option. $9.99, so for a JDM spinnerbait, priced incredibly well. So there you go. Deraspin from Jackall Japan, return, and the whole product line is in stock now. All right, Jeff, let's jump over to Imakatsu really quick. So Imakatsu is one of those brands, they build amazing baits. They look good, they're functional, there's a lot of R&D and effort and art put into the baits, but it's one of those brands that just keeps going under the radar, right? Like, it's just not a super popular brand, but you guys should use that to your advantage. There's not a lot of guys throwing a lot of these baits, and they're dope, okay? So we worked with Imakatsu. Maybe it's a price point thing, right? Because they're expensive. Everything coming over and importing is expensive. So we asked them to do a special batch for us in a couple of their more popular bluegill profile swim baits. So I have the Gilroyd Baby and the Gilroyd Mini. Now you know the Gilroyd, right? The Gilroyd is probably one of the more famous kind of bluegill profile swim baits, right? So the Mini and the Baby are going to be smaller versions of this. So each one's going to be available in 5 colors, anywhere from natural bluegills to shads, right? So just to kind of spec it out, the Gilroyd Baby is 120 millimeters long. It weighs 1.2 ounce, okay? So it's gonna be easy to throw on pretty much any standard gear, okay? It's got a lip, so literally all you have to do is cast it and swim it. And it's gonna have just a super natural profile. You can kind of wake it on the surface, you can crank it down. It does have the ability to weight it if you want to weight it. It has different tails, so you can add different style tails on there to give you different actions. Typically, this baby is going to be priced somewhere around that $70 price point. We worked with Imakatsu to do a special batch for us, so $49.99. Okay, so we've dropped the price substantially on this guy and got it in the best colors. Now, same thing with the Mini. Okay, so the Mini is an even smaller, more compact version. So you've got an 80 millimeter with the flat tail and 90 millimeter with the boot tail. Essentially 14 grams is what you're looking at with this. This is gonna be a slow floating version, and same thing. It's got everything built in. So you can see how beautifully compact this is. If you guys are pond fishing or you're fishing a place where they're just chomping on little baby bluegill or little baby shad or something like that, this could be an amazing option for you. Same thing, we worked with them to bring the price down, so now we're down to $39.99 on the Mini, $49.99 on the Baby. So hopefully that pricing helps you guys. It's gonna save you about 20 bucks a bait. So if you guys are bluegill swim bait anglers and you're looking for just something super dope, this could be right in your lane from Imakatsu. Those are available now. All right, another new hard bait from Imakatsu. We see the addition in their finesse line of the IS Wasp. So this is going to be available in a 55 size and a 50 size. So I should note also that all the Imakatsu hard baits, these are all made in Japan. So they're going to come with the right hooks, everything that you need, literally just unpackage it and go. Okay, so just to spec it out, this is a 55 millimeter 4.5 gram bait. This is a 50 millimeter 3.5 gram bait. Okay, so let me take a couple of these out for you and I'll just show you. So this is going to be a super kind of like bait finesse type shad bait. Griff, I know you're a huge like shad bait guy, right? You're throwing a lot of them on the whip sinker, right? You're doing the high cuts, you're doing the eye shads. This is going to be a really small finesse when you just need to get something ultra tiny. Okay, so you guys can throw it on spinning. You're going to work it the same way you'd work any other shad profile. It's just going to be downsized, right? 50 millimeter or 55 millimeter. There's some great colors. Some of them will have kind of that abalone insert. Some are going to be more transparent. There's even colors, you know, there's like a cool morning dawn color. There's some 3D colors with like some lifelike scale patterns. There's some bright ones, right? So if you need a small, like not natural color, there's those as well. So there you go. IS Wasp 50 and 55 from Imakatsu. Those are available now. All right, and then a couple of soft plastics to let you guys know about. A couple weeks ago, Jeff, we brought in the elastomer version of the Huddle Swimmer, right? This week we see the smallest edition. This is the Imakatsu Huddleston collab, the Huddle Fat Fly. Okay, so this is a 2.8 inch version. This is the elastomer version as well. Just take one of these out for you guys so you can see how awesome this thing is. Griff, this should be right up your alley.
I like those. I really like those.
So I know that you've thrown the Huddle Fly in the past, right? So have you used the elastomer version before?
The big Huddle Swimmer.
Okay, so how do you usually like to fish the Huddle Fly when you're throwing it?
On a rig.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap. That must be the most finesse A-rig ever.
Yeah, so when we had those micros,
right,
that's the best bait ever for an A-rig.
That's crazy. So you could be nuts like Griff and do A-rig type stuff. You could also drop shot this thing. You could hover shot it, you can put it on a little ball head. It's basically just a very downsized, very lifelike size at 2.8 inches. Going to have this kind of Huddleston tail that Imakatsu and Huddleston work together on developing. You're just going to have a very lifelike movement out of this thing. So a bunch of colors. It's going to be a great little finesse guy. There you go, sir. So there you go. The new Huddle Fly elastomer from Imakatsu, available now. And then we also see a restock in some new colors in the Java Shad IS Plus. Now this is a bait that we brought in maybe a month or so ago. You guys absolutely just loved them, scooped it up. If you guys don't remember us talking about it, this is the kind of multi-segmented skeleton bait that you can customize to your liking, right? You can throw it as is. It's going to be kind of a Simco type style, but you can cut and clip these little joints to give it more of a side-to-side movement or an up and down motion, and you really just kind of make the bait that you need the bait to be. So they're going to be available in 3.5 inch sizes, 4.5 inch sizes, 2.5 inch sizes, 5.5 inch sizes. So 4 different sizes, colors from green pumpkins to shads to wakasagis. So if you've been waiting on the restock of those return from Imakatsu.
Hey guys, just a quick tip on this Huddle Fat Fly. I like to put a little nail weight in here, and it comes with this little hole in the back of the tail. It's really hard to see because it's so small, but the tiniest bit of weight in there, when I'm fishing this just as a solo bait, I like to work it really slow, and that little bit of added weight gives a little bit more of a tail kick. So just a quick tip on this if something you want to try.
All right, guys, and then finally, another new ICast release, this time from Daiwa. This is a rod that I have spent a lot of time this week talking about. This is new in the Steez AGS line. This is the Finesse Game Special. So Daiwa is launching 2 new Steez AGS rods, a Finesse Game Special, which is a finesse casting rod, also a Ned Rig Special, but Griff already bought all of those. So you guys are out of luck. Yeah, out of luck on that. So in all seriousness, I have never really been a fan of throwing soft plastic finesse type techniques on casting gear. I've always just been a spinning guy, right? I like the drag, I like the light line capability of a spinning rod. This is kind of the first casting rod designed to do that that's really impressed me. Its biggest feature is that it's fun, right? So this was designed to go with a Steez CT, so the compact Steez. You could also do like the compact Tatula on there if you don't want to spend $700 on the Steez. But this is an amazing finesse rod. It's rated for a 1/16 to 3/8 ounce. This is going to be, if you guys like to throw a drop shot on a casting rod, or a little Nico rig, or a Ned rig like Griff does. It also throws a little ball head with a little swim bait incredibly well. It doesn't weigh anything. It's super light, and when you get a fish on this, they all feel massive, right? And it's just as sensitive as any of the spinning rods that I've used for these deep water type techniques. If you guys are shore fishing and accuracy is super important on finesse, this is going to be kind of a no-brainer for you. Griff, you've had some time behind this as well. What are some of your thoughts on this guy?
Super sensitive, super fun.
Yeah.
You know, one-handed cast, just whipping little light baits around. It's super dope.
Yeah.
I mean, it fishes like a Steez.
Totally.
Right?
But with lighter line, lighter baits, just finesse, right? So we'll post a video of us actually fishing with this rod this week so you guys can see really kind of everything it does. But if you guys have been looking for a rod like this, or maybe you haven't been looking for a rod like this, but you just want to try something different and have a good time doing something in a different way, this could be right up your alley. So the Steez AGS Finesse Game Special is available now. All right, guys, that is a wrap for us. Jeff, thank you for being here, sir.
As always.
You were very quiet. Are you tired today?
I hope you enjoyed your $12.50 can of Orion today.
Could you imagine? Can you imagine?
On the regular?
Yeah, on the regular?
God.
Oh my goodness. Holy moly.
So I didn't think Orion was like the highest
gold
end beer. Yeah.
Right. I have really made this a thing. That was post Tackle Otaku pricing.
True. They're like,
right.
Oh my god, they're selling like hotcakes now. Now we have to raise the prices because
you know what it is.
Like
so many people are walking in going, "Do you sell Orion? Do you sell Orion? Do you sell Orion?"
Orion.
They're like, "Oh, this is really a thing."
I wonder who. And they look up and they see this random white guy from
Yeah,
Arizona.
they're like, oh, they're bougie motherfuckers
They're
asking
bougie,
for it.
yeah.
12 bucks a can. Yeah. Guys, cheers. Happy Sunday. Oh my goodness. It has just been a slaughter. I'm going to go home and
Hang
take
it
a
up,
nap.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Sunday. If you guys have questions on anything that we covered, please drop it down below and I will get answers, of course. Links are easy to find. They're down below as well if you guys want to check any of that stuff out. Griff, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Cheers. Jeff, happy Sunday.
Hmm.
Cheers. On behalf of myself and Jeff and Griffin, everybody here at the Hookup Tackle guys, thank you for your business. Thank you for your support. Thank you for giving us time on your Sunday morning. Have a wonderful weekend. Go catch some fish. Hug your family. Cheers, my friends. Peace.